All right, so let me explain a little bit about the application process, okay? So we have a 10-step process. When you typically paint, it's normally 3 steps, maybe 4, right? So these are the 10 steps, and I'll just explain those in detail, okay? All right, so first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna measure twice and we're gonna cut once, okay? I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that saying before, correct?
I didn't know you cut paint.
This is the coating, remember?
Okay.
All right, so look at this
So you
right.
cut coating,
We cut coating? No, we don't.
but not corners?
So let's look at it this way. If we are wanting to make sure that we order the right amount of materials, we want to make sure that we order enough and not, have to do it twice, right? We want to make sure it's done right the first time.
Okay.
That's what I mean, measure twice, cut once.
All right.
One of the things I want to show you is, if you look at some of this stuff here, U.S. Department of Energy, U.S. Green Council. These are all, organizations that are like, Pacific Home Remodeling is obviously a company we'd want to work with. All right. It's a jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi.
From my toe?
So if I bore you, just start visualizing that you're going to be in here. And you're just like, oh, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Make sure you heat it up for him.
All right, so let me just show you some of the stuff that's actually in it, as well as the process of doing it, okay? How you guys doing so far?
A little tired.
A little tired?
Yeah.
It's been a long day. It's beautiful outside, though, right?
It is.
How much longer?
I'm going to show you just a little bit about how we're going to put this on. Then we're going to measure. Then I'll show you the warranty and get you the price and get out of here. Sound fair?
So about like 15 minutes?
I have a sleeping bag in here. I'm planning on staying here for at least 2 weeks.
We gotta get home pretty quick.
All right, let's see here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So, what is the biggest thing that we need to do to the outside of the house to prevent having to, re-stucco or paint?
Seal it?
We want to make sure that it is breathable.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So, this right here, we actually have our coating on top of the stucco.
Silicone? Is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it goes on top of this right here. I want you to squeeze this. So what's actually happening is we are allowing your stucco to breathe, okay? Now, the advantage for this, let's say if this was paint, what would end up happening is the moisture would get trapped and then it would start causing stucco decay. So that's what's going to be preventing it from happening, right?
So this is a coating inside right here? Is that what you're saying?
On top.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now, look, we have 2 different things right here. So this is what your house looks like right now. This is non-coated aspirin. That, and then what I have right here, I'll show you in a second. All right. So, first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to trench. Now, the reason why we want to trench is because your house is essentially like a sponge, okay? You notice that a lot of the areas where we have stucco damage, it's
Down
on the
on the
lower
bottom.
part. Yeah, it's because your house
where the
wants,
moisture
exactly,
is.
your house wants to absorb water. So what we're going to do with these areas right here is we have something called hydrophobic resin. Hydrophobic means scared of water. Make sense?
Okay.
All right. So now looking at this right here, what I dipped the aspirin in, what this is, I just dipped it in the hydrophobic resin. Now if you look at this right here, there's
It's
nothing wrong with
not
it.
Disintegrating.
Right? Isn't that
Is
cool?
this aspirin? What is this?
Yeah, this is just a typical
It's
aspirin.
like a bare aspirin.
Yeah. And then this right here is
Dissolved.
yeah, exactly. Remember we talked about the different stages of efflorescence? This is essentially the progression of efflorescence if we don't do anything to your house. All right? Now let's look at this real quick. All right, let's get crazy here. So I'm going to snap this in half.
He's pretty tough.
Now, If I put this back in here, more than likely it's going to dissolve, right?
Well, because that's exposed and it hasn't been protected.
Right?
Correct?
Okay, yeah, let's see. I'm just kidding. It's not going to. I was just teasing you guys. So the cool thing with this is the hydrophobic resin, it causes all the air pockets in your walls to just be gone. So what ends up happening is all of it is going to be protected. Okay? So you're not ever going to have issues with moisture getting into your stucco or your floorboards or your studs.
That's cool.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
I mean
cool.
stud replacement is really expensive. Do you guys have any idea how much stud replacement costs?
Oh, yeah.
It's expensive. Yeah. I mean
We
per
have that
wall it's
house.
easily $20,000, $30,000.
It's very expensive.
Yeah. And then look at this right here. So this is just your standard paint. This is coating. I'm going to ask a really stupid question
wow.
right now, okay?
Oh,
Which would you rather have on your house?
wow. This is not much thicker than a piece of paper. That's
I
really-
know. That's why, I mean, if you think about it, it peels so fast,
This is kind of rough.
right?
That's
my paint
amazing
rough?
how thick that is.
Our paint's not rough like that, is it?
And here's what's crazy is this is actually breathable.
What?
Yeah, it's breathable.
Oh, wait, no, what is this? It's on it.
That's Flex-On right there. Okay. So, yeah, that's what we do with the trenching because we want to be able to prevent the wicking effect. Okay. So that's going to prevent any moisture from getting into your walls. Okay.
That's cool.
All right. Have you guys ever heard of a hydroblaster or a power washer?
Yeah.
Okay. Your standard power wash is anywhere from 12 to 1500 psi. This is anywhere from 35 to 4000 psi. It's a lot stronger.
Could
Yeah.
that damage the house?
That's a great question. So let me show you something. Okay. That looks pretty familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So after we were done hydroblasting the walls, this is what it ended up looking like. Now, a lot of times when homeowners see something like this on their house, they're like, oh, it's not that big a deal. We'll just patch and repair. But they don't realize the extent of the damage. So what we do with our hydroblaster is it opens up the walls. You probably have a good understanding of what exfoliating is, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what we're doing to the
Isn't that
outside
what you
of the
tell me
house.
to do all the time?
Hey, your pores look pretty good. I think you're
It's his
okay.
arms that are so dry.
Hey, be nice.
So that's what this is right here. So we're essentially exfoliating the water or exfoliating the walls,
Walls.
right? So what we use to actually fill these areas right here is something called Tech Bond. All right, if you break this, we'll do the job for free, but you can only use your hands.
I'll let her do it then.
Honey, ha.
Tougher than me.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. This is a lot of money for free. Break it.
It's like a cookie.
Fine.
All right, so what we do is we actually fill in here with this right here. Now, the reason why we use this instead of restuccoing is because stucco naturally contracts, right? So what we want to do is prevent stucco from contracting. You've ever seen an addition or you see like you put a window or something in a new area, you'll notice where the old stucco and the new stucco is, it's a cold joint. What ends up happening is it ends up pulling apart the old and the new stucco and you get a crack and moisture will get
Okay.
in there, okay? And we want to prevent that from happening. This stuff is actually pliable, okay? So it will expand and contract with the home,
You just can't break it.
right? Doesn't make sense, right? Science. So, but since we live in California, it's pretty important, because the
With the
ground is moving.
moisture, yeah.
Right. We want to be able to prevent moisture from getting in and to prevent the cracks from coming back. So that's what this stuff is for, okay? That's Tech Bond. This right here is Flex Patch.
And what's the purpose of it?
This stuff is very...
Flex patch.
It's like a patch your muscles.
That's right. That's right. So what that stuff is for the small hairline cracks. Typically, you'll see that stuff around the windows, things like that. Okay.
So, our surface is gonna be like that texture?
There's actually different applications for it, so we always make it match what is existing on the outside right now. Okay. So, but if you look at the extent of the work, the patching and repair, all the areas where it's brown right there, that is all repair. So a lot of people don't realize the extent or the damage that has been done to their house.
Well, I'm
That's
sure
why-
our house isn't that bad.
That's what a lot of people say, you know. Here's what I want you to do. Want you to take a picture before, and I want to have you take a picture during, and then after, and you'll see the before and after. I promise you, you will be floored. Okay? So that's what we do. We patch and repair. We mask everything off, right? Now the reason why we do that is we want to make sure it's done right. Remember,
Okay.
we want to repair your stucco in a way where you're not having to deal with any issues with your stucco again, correct?
Okay.
All right. So obviously, you know, masking is important, right? You know, you want to make sure it's done correct. You know, they say that 80% of the work is in the prep. You want to make sure it's done right.
It's the same as painting. Most
What's
of
that?
your work is, I mean, when you paint, most of your work is the prep work.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to make sure it's done right. You don't want the color of your eaves and your fascia to be on your walls, right?
Right.
You know, so, you know, we spend a lot of time doing this. So we mask everything off. So if your kid is running around out there, you know, we're going to mask him off. Just kidding. We won't do that. I'm just joking.
Kevin, I think he's bigger than you.
And never mind. We'll have to tie him down. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. What I also want to show you too is what's in the actual product itself.
Okay.
Okay. So first and foremost, let me show you. So I talked with you a little bit about the Tech Bond and the Flex Patch. This right here is Dalcolite. Okay. Do you know what Dalcolite is, or diatomaceous earth?
No.
Don't they have that in like fertilizer or something?
Oh no, that's something else. This
Oh,
stuff
okay.
is actually you can eat this stuff. It's actually edible. This is
Doesn't
actually,
look good.
What's its purpose?
What this does is it actually causes your house to breathe. This is the product right here that really sets it apart when it comes to breathability, okay? So it allows air to get through, but not moisture. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people are just like, yeah, I like this stuff a lot, right? All right? Another cool
Do you
thing.
know how it does that?
So you know how, okay, you know like molecules,
Mm-hmm.
H2O, things like that. This is able to allow air to get in because it's a smaller molecule than water.
So kind of like soft lens compared to a hard lens in contacts.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
It's all coming
okay,
together.
It's all coming together in my
together.
head.
All right. Another thing that we offer is mildicide. Do you guys know what mildicide is?
No.
All I'm guessing is it's going to be prevent the mildew. So
Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, it's going to prevent mold, moisture, mildew, anything that is going to prevent any damage like that to the house.
So you're gonna wash the walls down with that stuff?
This is getting sprayed on, yes. Okay?
So does that take care of the mildew problems that we already have? or
Absolutely.
how-
Absolutely, yeah. Now, a lot of times people, what they want to do is they just want to bleach, you know, what's going on the outside, but they don't realize that it's just going to keep coming back. This will prevent it from ever coming back.
And it doesn't bleed into the house with that.
This stuff will actually prevent it from coming back completely, right?
Okay.
Now, do you guys know how much mold remediation costs?
We haven't done any.
Okay, it's really expensive. This actually happened to my in-laws in San Diego. They gave me a call.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's
People
an
are calling us
alarm.
all the time.
Sorry.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. That's okay. Not a problem. So in San Diego, they had a leaky pipe in their kitchen, and what ended up happening was, you know, all of a sudden they just started getting this smell, and after just 1 week, mold everywhere in their kitchen. So what they ended up having to do was they ended up having to take off all of the cabinets. They closed it off. They weren't able to actually go into that area for 3 weeks. I'm kidding. It's ridiculous what actually happens with mold. How much do you think it costs for remediating just the kitchen? You're gonna get scared. It's
Yes.
sad. I'm just glad that they had insurance. $35,000.
Wow.
I mean, if you think about it,
Mm.
I mean, they had to always, go out and eat because they couldn't go into their kitchen. And now it's just, I mean, just imagine how stressful that would be,
Yeah.
right? So this right here is going to save you guys a lot of money, okay? All right. Have you ever heard of Acrosol?
No.
Acrosol is actually an orange oil, okay? Termites, they're not fans of orange oil, okay? Now, we did see some termite damage on the outside, correct?
Yeah.
It's safe to say that needs to get taken care of. Now, there's a couple different ways of doing that. You can tent the house, you can do spot treatment, or you can go with something like this. Now, if you tent the house, you have to keep doing it. Did you know you're supposed to do it every 3 years?
No, that's what
No.
I've heard. Yeah.
It's really expensive.
It's been a while since we've done ours.
Yeah, it typically will cost anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 depending on the size of the home, and that's not including wood replacement, and there's no warranty with it. Okay, the other option is doing spot treatment.
And then don't you have to be out of the house for a while?
Yeah, for a couple days. Yeah, so I mean that means you got to pay for a hotel, pay for food, kind of stressful, right? The other option is doing spot treatment. That's what they do is where they drill holes into these problem areas. It's not as expensive, but after a certain period of time, that orange oil ends up dissipating, right? And then you just have to do it all over again. It's just this repetitive cycle. With our product, anything that our product touches, you won't get termites. It's pretty amazing, right?
For how long?
As long as the product is on it. It's a permanent solution.
Really?
Imagine never
So
having
I'm never gonna have termites again if I have this on. Is what you're saying?
anywhere that this product touches, you will not get termites.
So
How
I
does
just
that
need
make
to put
you
that
feel?
on my roof too. No, sorry.
We don't have
Right?
a wood roof.
Okay, never mind. I'm just
But
being
it's safe to say
facetious.
though, like, I mean, obviously this is something that you would want, on your house. I mean, not thinking about termites ever again. That sounds pretty
That
refreshing,
is,
doesn't it? Especially in Southern
for
California.
here with the moisture in the air.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, let me show you this one right here.
So I'm never gonna have mold. I'm never gonna have termites. Is what you're saying? Both of those products, those problems are
I'll-
completely solved.
I will get into the warranty, and you're gonna be like, Kevin, you are the best ever.
Wait a minute, I am.
You guys are
She's
collectively
not
gonna say
saying you're
that.
the
You're gonna
best.
collectively say
No, no,
that.
no, no, no. Okay.
All right, this is perlite, okay?
Okay.
Have you guys heard of perlite before?
No.
This is the stuff that you were talking about. It goes into soil. It actually helps enrich soil, right? But it's also a fire retardant, okay? I'm going to show you something, okay? This is my favorite part. What if I were to show you that this actually can prevent... You want to put it on here? All right, I can do that for you.
Well, that's so that I can see it better.
Okay, fair enough. Let me show you this.
I'm putting alcohol in it.
I know. It's crazy. This is my favorite part. My wife says that I'm kind of a pyromaniac, but I'm just kidding. I've only burnt down 2 houses. I'm just joking.
Okay, so you're taking responsibility if anything burns in my house. Is what you're
100%.
saying? Okay.
All right. So this is just standard rubbing alcohol. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh my
Just try to
gosh.
light it. Okay.
Put it in
Okay.
the water. Put it in the water.
It's okay.
Put the match in the water. So it doesn't.
There we go. All right. So now if this was paint, what would end up happening is it would bubble, it would peel, it would turn black, and then you'd get direct flame on your wood and your house would be on fire. With this, do you guys notice that happening?
No, actually. It just looks like water.
Right?
Sitting on top.
So it's essentially just going to burn until there's no more alcohol to burn it.
Is it just watered down alcohol? Because there's a lot of water left.
It's 50%. With the cool thing with perlite is it can withstand direct flame for up to an hour. It's
Hmm.
amazing, right?
That's
All right.
impressive.
All right, I got to show you guys these pictures, okay? So I lived in San Diego for a couple years, and when I was there was a house that we ended up coating, and this house, look at this. Next door house ended up catching on fire.
Hmm.
Our house is next door. You see any
Nothing.
damage? Right? Pretty crazy.
Wow.
Now you see these little openings right there? They had efflorescence.
Aw.
See? Pretty bad. But here's one thing I actually want to show you guys. So you see this tarp right here? That used to be a
Yeah.
fence, okay? And obviously there's not a fence there anymore, but that fence was on fire. Direct flame was hitting the house. Nothing happened. It got so hot that this blind actually
Oh,
caught
wow.
on fire, but nothing happened to the house. Now,
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
imagine not being able to live in your house for months and you have to live in a hotel or you'd have to live with relatives. How uncomfortable would that be for you guys?
Wow.
Right?
That's impressive. It really
Right.
is.
You know, a lot of people, they like this stuff strictly for that reason. I mean, we're in Southern California, so we want to make sure, I mean, it gets hot here. Fires happen here regularly, okay? Another benefit to this product is you're not going to, it's actually going to lower your homeowner's insurance. Typically, it's 5%, okay?
Why
Just
would that be?
because it has a Class A fire rating.
Don't we have a Class A fire rating already?
Did you guys paint your house? Is it painted?
Yeah.
Paint is actually flammable. So it,
Hmm.
you wouldn't have it anymore. I know. All right.
But we didn't tell our insurance company, did we?
Tell them what.
That we painted our house.
I won't tell anybody, I promise, I promise. Okay. So we have another product. This is called titanium dioxide.
Okay.
Now, if you look at this right here, you see how it's starting to break down right here and then the flex on, there's actually nothing happening. The reason for this is because titanium dioxide, what this does is it essentially puts sunscreen on your house, right? So the cool thing with this is it prevents chipping, prevents fading, prevents peeling. Now that's what's going on the outside of your house right now. Imagine this stuff being on your house and never having to think about it cracking, peeling, and chipping. Remember, you want to change the color. You don't really like it because of what it's looking like right now. It's blotchy, it's faded.
faded.
Imagine that never happening with this stuff.
Hmm.
That sounds good, huh?
What's that called?
This is called titanium dioxide.
Huh.
Yeah,
So is that real titanium?
it is, absolutely. All right. This is my favorite product, and it's going to be yours too. Ask me why.
Why?
So this stuff right here is called HR reflective tint, okay? So this stuff was actually developed in the military, right? Back in the 60s. And what it would be used for is they would put it on tanks, bombers, things like that. And it would actually help eliminate heat signatures, okay?
So is my house going to be yellow like that?
Of course. That's the only color you can choose. I'm just kidding. No. But the cool thing with this stuff right here is it actually is going to help keep your house cool. So look at this right here. All right. Which one would you rather have your husband in?
Don't answer that.
We
The
want
one
him
that
in.
doesn't show up.
All right. So that means you're doing good right now. That's good. Some people say, no, I want him in this one right here.
It's a good thing you weren't here yesterday.
Now let's make it a
Really?
little bit more practical for you guys since you're homeowners. Honestly, the reason why a lot of homeowners move forward with us is because of this stuff right here. Because not only is it a permanent solution, but it also saves you a bunch of money. Look at this. This can lower your energy cost by up to 22%. So for an example, how often are you guys running your air conditioner? Probably pretty regularly, right?
She likes to be cold.
I like it cold. I do.
So
He
I'm
likes
assuming-
it 80 degrees and I can't handle it. So
and obviously she's in charge.
She's home all day
that's
too.
right.
Right. So imagine your electric bill being dropped by up to 22%. How much money is that going to save you?
So does that mean we don't have to get solar anymore?
I'm telling you that this can actually help it so that it won't be that bad. I mean, solar, I'm not going to tell you, if you want to do solar or not, but this is going to help save you money. Okay? Look at this right here. So this is in Phoenix, Arizona. You were talking about your kid living in the Phoenix area. So It's safe to say it gets pretty hot there.
It does. It's like 110 right now.
Oh, gosh.
We're going up there this next weekend.
Right?
Yeah, she says make sure you come prepared.
All right, I'm going to tell you guys a story. So, a couple years ago, when I was over there, I was there for it was like a conference or something, and they were having a heat wave. It was 120 degrees. I woke up in the morning, no saliva whatsoever. My mouth is dry. I drink a bottle of water, and I'm like, I am still thirsty. I ended up having 6 by 11 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
I walk outside, and I'm just like, I'm so dizzy and lightheaded right now. I talk to somebody there, and they're like, Kevin, you're dehydrated right now. You need to drink some water. And I was just like, look, I've just had 6 bottles of water. I didn't go to the bathroom the entire time that I was there. It's bad, right? Okay. That's how hot it gets, right?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so look, these are the areas that are not coated in our product. It got up to 135 degrees. Now, the reason for that, typically the house gets pretty hot around 3 o'clock to about 7. Now, the reason for that is because the sun is just beating on the house, and your house is absorbing it. So, for an example, when we go back out there, we'll actually touch the wall, and you'll notice it's actually hotter than the temperature outside.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's like your car after
Right?
you've been
This
sitting
is how
for
you
a while.
guys, yeah, exactly. So we're actually going to be able to lower the temperature by up to 40 degrees.
Oh.
So just imagine how cool your house is going to be. So you're not going to have the air condition blowing all the time. You're going to be comfortable in the house, and you're not going to have to be spending all the money on the air condition. Sounds pretty good, right?
So maybe I don't have to have solar.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right? But this is why a lot of homeowners love this stuff, okay?
Still.
Still have to have solar.
She wants the
So,
solar.
well, all you do is get credits, and then it pays for your gas.
All right, so you remember I was
Okay.
talking with you guys about this right here? Okay, you see the density of it?
Yes.
This 70% water paint. Look at this. Only 38% is water, okay? So most of this is
What?
actually material.
Doesn't feel right. Gotta be kidding me. Huh.
It's pretty amazing, huh?
Surprises me.
Yeah. All right, now, our second coat of armor, we have something called TH100. This product is exclusive to our company. This is really what separates just your standard cool wall from Flexon. This is putting it on steroids. It basically amplifies all the products and doesn't allow them to actually, dissipate or, lessen in over the years. So this actually just makes it stronger and stronger.
What's it called?
This is called TH100.
Well, what does that mean? What does TH stand for?
It's a silica-based product, but that's why a lot of people like this stuff, is because it's a permanent solution, and this is what causes it to be permanent, right? All right. Are you guys getting excited about this product? I'm already excited. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of the price. That's what I'm afraid of right now.
Yeah, my job's to make it affordable for you, so I just need
Maybe-
you. I need
maybe
you
we
to do the
should-
woosah
don't we have
right
to go
now.
somewhere. It's gonna cost too much.
Yeah.
All right, so let me show you guys. There's 2 other things that I want to show you. All right. So this right here is Kynar. Okay.
What's this used for?
So this right here is on the outside coating. So you know how it is.
Looks like a little plastic bead.
Keep giving them to me.
You stuck your hand out. I naturally want to give somebody something.
Okay, give me the coating.
So this stuff right here, naturally, you can actually see this stuff on the Hollywood sign. Okay. Now the cool thing with this stuff is it's like liquid Teflon. You know, in your pots and your pans, the non-stick. That's what this stuff is. So it actually keeps your house clean. So a lot of times, what people will do is they can either wash their house, or whenever it rains, when it's very seldomly, it will actually wash off your house, so it's always going to stay clean. Okay? But it also traps all these other products in, so it doesn't allow them to leave as well. All right? And this is the last thing. Everyone loves this.
Does that allow it to still be breathable?
It does. Exactly. This
Okay,
right here.
what's this?
All right. This right here is called hydrophobic pigment.
Can I touch this?
I want to play a game with you guys. All right. So I want you to close your eyes. I don't want to get gasoline. Ooh. Here, let me see your finger. One finger. There we go. All right. Close your eyes. Tell me if you feel anything. You feel anything?
No.
Open your eyes. Your hand's in there.
What?
So this is a plant-based product.
What?
Yeah. All right. It's the lightest powdered product on earth. All right. I want you to stick your finger in here, and I want you to go like this and twirl it around. Here, do it over the book. I don't want you.
Kidding me.
Yeah. All right. Keep going.
You
Keep going.
can't feel anything.
Just trying
you're-
to make
It
me-
only,
you're
the only
ne-
thing
you're
you
next.
can feel is that it's just slightly cooler.
Right?
You don't feel like there's anything
Right?
in there.
It's cool. All right. I want you to stick your finger in the water. All right. Look at it from the side, you guys. What's going on with your finger? What is that? All right. Pull your finger out.
It's not wet. Whatever.
Isn't that
Oh my
crazy?
Gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it looks like.
So that right there is
That is awesome.
right. So remember, we
Oh
are.
my heck.
that's gonna be on your finger for the rest of time. Okay, it's permanent.
Okay,
Okay.
sweet.
I'm just kidding. No, if you just use soap and water, it'll be okay. No, but so let's see.
See, I'm glad I didn't do it.
So we're gonna be taking care of mold, termites. It's a fire retardant. It's gonna keep the house cool. What else is it covering? Water.
Termites, water. What else?
I don't
Don't
know.
look at me.
He's the professional.
So it's
What
gonna
else?
prevent it from cracking, from peeling, from chipping.
Right. So
From
it's
fading.
gonna last for the life of the product.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or
Now
the
is
life
it
of the home.
what?
Is it seriously gonna last 50 years?
I'll go over. Actually, there's a study here. Let me show you guys. There's a study. Obviously, cleanup is really, really important. You don't want to have somebody do work on your house and then all of a sudden, they just leave a bunch of mess. That's not gonna happen. Okay. All right. I want to show you this picture real quick. So this right here, if you look, so our product is in the middle, and then they did a simulation for 20 years. Okay, and they did it over hours, right? Our product faded 0.04%. That is invisible to the naked eye. That's incredible, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean,
No
you
more
could-
changing colors.
if you think about it, you compare this to paint, you compare this to anything, it's going to start peeling, it's going to start fading, and we're going to have this conversation,
Okay.
in a couple years from now.
That's not even over a year's time. That's like
It's crazy, right? So let me ask you guys a question. Of all of these products, which one really benefits you guys the most, or really jumped out to you guys?
probably the termite to me because we've got that issue.
Of course, yeah.
So-
What else?
Heat reflecting.
Save
Yeah,
that
that
money.
would be-
Absolutely.
that is
I mean, if you guys are
awesome.
thinking
Save
of
some
solar, I mean, you can, with this stuff, there are some tax incentives right now. Just talk to your consultant, like your tax consultant, and they'll be able to help you with that as well. Okay.
The fact that you don't ever have to do it again, if that is
Permanent
honestly
solution,
true.
yeah.
I mean,
All right, yeah.
that's impressive.
So it's safe to say, putting price to the side, this is something that you would want on your house, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Every single person I talk to, they always want the product. Yeah, it just really comes down to, can I afford it, right? So what I want to do now is I want to measure so I can actually get some numbers together for you, and I'll get you a price, and we'll go from there. Sound
Okay.
good? Okay, great.